Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's spiritual video, this is going to be how to use your pendulum and all the different ways you can use them, because I feel like there are actually multiple ways you can use them. People do mainly talk about the yes and no divination answers that you can get, but I'm going to be talking about all the other ways that you can use your pendulum. So first we're going to talk about the history of pendulums. They are basically used for dowsing, for making life decisions, as well as locating water, gold, oil and missing objects. The belief is that a pendulum works like an antenna, picking up information from people, places and objects through the energy. So they actually respond to your body's own energy field in conjunction with your higher self and your intuition. So this provokes like jerk reflexes in your arm and wrist that allows the pendulum to move in a certain way, which means it's potentially triggered by your subconscious brain activity. So by asking your pendulum a yes or a no question, your energy field, as known as your pendulum, is simply responding to what your inner self already knows subconsciously. So now we're going to talk about all the different ways that you can use your pendulum. Okay, so you can use your pendulum for searching for lost objects. It can also be used for cleansing and balancing chakras. It can also be used for finding and resolving problems with auras. It's also used in decision making, to cleanse and dispel negative energy in a room or area. It can also be used to find lost pets and people. The pendulum is also a tool that can be used to communicate with spirit via your higher self or your guides. It can also be used to help you decide if a crystal you are buying is the right one for you to use. So this powerful tool brings together the left and right sides of the brain and acts as an antenna, helping you tune into your intuition and pick up on the energies and vibrations emitted by people, objects and places. So now moving on to the demonstration part of the pendulum. First you want to choose your pendulum and you want to make sure you're connecting with the crystal. So it's really important to choose a crystal or a pendulum you feel very connected to. Because choosing a pendulum, it acts as a transmitter and receiver by tapping into your intuition and your sixth sense. So for example, if you choose a rose quartz pendulum, this is very soothing. It has a very soft energy to it, a very subtle vibration to feel. But this pendulum I love. This was from Mindful Souls, and it's just a really pretty design as well. So I have 4 different pendulums. I'd highly recommend a Tiger's Eye pendulum, because Tiger's Eye is known as one of the strongest crystals in energy. So if you're using a pendulum to seek answers and to help you find things, as I say, Tiger's Eye is so strong with energy. It's a powerful crystal, so I would highly recommend Tiger's Eye if you're starting out as well. But my favourite crystal to use as a pendulum is a clear quartz. This one is actually a necklace, so you can actually have a necklace that can be used as a pendulum as long as it has a pointed tip. And the reason I suggest that you use one made from quartz crystal is that quartz crystal is a strong amplifier of energy. So here is my favorite quartz pendulum, and it has the most beautiful rainbow here as well. So like I say, you just want to pick a pendulum you feel really connected with, because then that way you're going to get more accurate answers. So when you have your pendulum, you want to cleanse it before you use it. So I'm going to talk you through this process now. So you first want to cleanse your pendulum when you get it. So you can use Palo Santo, you can use sandalwood incense sticks, or you can use sage, whatever cleansing herb you prefer. And you just want to kind of cleanse it just by running the smoke through it. And there are other cleansing methods to cleanse crystals with, so just go with whatever cleansing method you prefer. And you also want to charge it as well before you use it. So I always pop my pendulums on a selenite plate, because selenite charges crystals. So whatever way that you cleanse and charge your crystals with, you can do the exact same thing with a pendulum. But this is my routine. It's really quick and easy to do. So when your pendulum is fully charged, you can start by connecting with it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to hold it in your hand, in the palm of your hand for a few moments. This can help you to connect to it and forge an energetic bond. Pendulums have been used for divination practices for centuries, and there are also estimations that pendulums were used back in ancient Rome and Egypt too. So just spend a few moments putting your intentions into the pendulum and what you want it to do for you. So next you want to hold the chain or cord between your forefinger and your thumb. Okay, so this is your forefinger and your thumb here. So you just want to kind of hold it up like this. So then you need to know your no from your yes. Okay, so everyone's no or yes can have a different movement. So you can hold the pendulum a few inches above your palm and ask questions. You also want to make sure you stay focused and open. Don't force your mindset in one direction or the other, as this could influence the pendulum. So sometimes I like to close my eyes when I ask questions because it helps me to not influence the pendulum movement. So I'm simply going to ask my pendulum questions like, is my name Kerry? Is my name Kerry? So as you can see, my pendulum is basically going left to right in kind of like a swirly circular motion. So this would be my yes. Okay, and sometimes I like to ask my pendulum to stop. Stop. And it starts to kind of slow down. You can also reset it like this if you want to start again, but sometimes I like to just keep my hand still to control the pendulum. So then I would ask questions for the no answer. So I would say, am I a boy? So as you can see, the pendulum is going up and down my palm. Up and down like that. So your yes or no could be the opposite. This could be your yes and the other could be your no, but you just need to work with your pendulum to find out your yes and no answers. So you may find other pendulums will have different yes and no responses to your hand. Again, it's connecting to the energy between you and your hand. So that is basically how you use your pendulum for yes and no answers on your hand. And when you feel comfortable with the yes and no response you have, then you can ask questions that you don't know or that you want to find more about. So you can also use your pendulum on pendulum boards. So this one has a yes, rephrase, no, maybe, which I feel is a really nice divination tool to include. So is this a YouTube video I'm recording right now? And the answer is yes. So there are other types of boards you can buy for your pendulum, one to give you further insight. So just for example, what does the collective need to hear right now? So it's going in the kind of left direction up here of think positive. And then I have a more complicated pendulum board that has symbols to represent certain life areas. So again, you can use your pendulum for other certain pendulum maps, which are really fun to use. So you, like I say, you can use it for multiple readings. So you can also use maps as well with your pendulum to help you find people. So the pendulum can actually be used to help you decide if a crystal you are buying is the right one for you to use. So I tend to use my pendulum to find out if I should use a certain crystal at this time, or if I want to check the energy of the crystal if it needs to be cleansed and charged. So again, you would take your pendulum, and you don't have to have this crystal in the palm of your hand over it. You can use your pendulum now just like this, and you can have your pendulum over the top, and we can ask things like, is this amethyst a crystal I should be using right now? So as you can see, the answer was yes. Okay, and then you can say, does this amethyst crystal need to be cleansed and charged? Okay, so we have a yes as well. So this is letting me know to refresh the energies of the crystal, to cleanse and charge it, and then this is going to be a good crystal for me to use. So I'm going to take the pendulum's advice and I'm going to use this to meditate with. So it can be used to douse the energy of a room. So you can see what spots of the room may need cleansing, if there's any kind of energies that the pendulum is going more towards. That is how it kind of scans the energy of a room. And you can also place the pendulum on your body, because this will help find the areas of your body that need balancing within your chakras. So again, you can just put the pendulum on like your throat chakra, your heart chakra, over your body, and find out what areas may need resolving within your energetic field. I also find the clear quartz is great to get rid of negative energy and clear the energy. So if you want to cleanse a crystal, you can also put it above your crystal and just ask the pendulum to cleanse your crystal for you. Okay, and you can literally just wave your pendulum around the crystal, and I'm controlling this motion. Okay, and that is how you can cleanse your crystal. You can also get a selenite pendulum, which is great for this option. So what I love to use my pendulum for is to find lost objects. So you may be thinking, how can you find lost objects with a pendulum? Well, the answer is simple. You would basically just hold your pendulum like this, okay, in a room. So for example, say you've lost your car keys, and you would say to the pendulum, are my car keys in this room? Okay, so again, you're looking for your yes and your no answer. Okay, so this is a no. So you would go out of that room and you go to another room, and it actually does work, because I lost something and I was scanning the rooms and it told me it was in the kitchen. So when I was in the kitchen, then I asked the pendulum, is it in the left or the right side? It said the left side, and as sure enough, when I went to the left hand corner, I managed to find that missing object, which fascinated me. So now I'm going to show you the last exercise of how you can use your pendulum, which I talked about earlier, which is to communicate with spirit via your higher self or your guides. So basically, you're going to close your eyes, okay, and you're going to see yourself having a conversation with someone who has passed to spirit, or anyone you want to be in contact with. So someone you love would be ideal, for instance, but anyone, as I say, that you want to get in contact with. So this is optional. You can have it on your palm, okay, or you can just hold your pendulum like this, which is something I like to do if I'm not getting my energy field and the answers I'm asking for myself. So if you're using a pendulum to find other people, missing objects, or to contact spirit, then you just hold your pendulum like this. So holding your pendulum still in front of you, you will ask your spirit messenger to indicate a yes for you. And notice the movement of the pendulum. So gently tap the pendulum on the surface in front of you and say thank you. So that is when you get your yes and no answers from your messenger. So that is everything on how to use your pendulum. All the different ways. As you can see, there is more than just one way of just a simple yes and no answer how you can use your pendulum. I find this such a fun divination tool, and I really do connect with my pendulum. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have a pendulum or you're thinking about getting one, yeah, I would highly recommend. There's great places on Etsy that do really beautiful pendulums. This is where I got this one from. But yeah, if you like this type of video, give it a thumbs up, like the video, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I'm sending you so much love and light.